This is the Keurig K-Express single-serve K-Cup pod coffee maker. I've had this for a bit now, and a few people asked me about it, so here's my take. I bought this because I wanted something simple for one cup at a time. I did not want a big coffee maker taking up half the counter. I also did not want to measure grounds every morning when I'm half awake. I just wanted to put in a pod, press a button, and get coffee quickly. That is pretty much what this machine does. The size is one of the main reasons I like it. It is narrow, so it does not take up much counter space. It is deeper than it looks, though. The water tank sits in the back, so I do have to leave a little room behind it. If it is under a cabinet, I sometimes pull it forward when I refill the tank. The plastic body feels light. It does not feel like a heavy-duty machine. I would not call it cheap in a terrible way, but it is clearly a lightweight plastic coffee maker. When I move it, I can tell it is not built like an older, heavier Keurig model. That may or may not matter, depending on what I expect from it. Setup was easy. I rinsed the water reservoir, filled it, plugged it in, and ran a water-only cycle before making coffee. It did not take long. There were no confusing steps. The buttons are simple, and I like that. There are 3 cup sizes, 8, 10, and 12 ounces. I usually use the 10-ounce setting. The 8-ounce setting tastes stronger to me, and the 12-ounce setting can taste a little thin depending on the pod. That is not really a surprise with pod coffee. More water usually means a lighter cup. The strong button is actually useful. I thought it might be one of those buttons that barely changes anything, but I can taste a difference. It seems to slow the brew down a bit, and the coffee comes out with more body. I use strong almost every time now, especially with medium roast pods. It still depends a lot on the pod. A weak pod is still going to taste weak. This machine does not magically fix bad coffee. But with a decent K-cup, the strong setting helps. The water reservoir holds 42 ounces. For me, that is enough for a few cups before I need to refill it. I like that it is removable. I can take it to the sink instead of trying to pour water into the machine while it sits on the counter. That said, the tank design is not my favorite. There is an open area near the top, and if I pour too fast or at the wrong angle, water can spill where I do not want it. I have learned to refill it slowly. It is not hard, but it is something I noticed after using it for a while. The machine brews fast. It starts pretty quickly after I press the button, and a cup is done in around a minute or so. That is one of the best parts for my daily use. I can make coffee before heading out, and I do not feel like I am waiting around. It also handles back-to-back cups well. If I make one cup and then make another right after, I do not have to wait a long time for it to heat up again. That has been nice when someone else wants coffee too. The drip tray comes off, which helps with taller mugs. I have used a travel mug under it after removing the tray. I would still check the height before assuming every travel mug will fit, but normal taller cups are fine. One thing I noticed is that it can splash a little. Not a huge mess every time, but I do see small coffee spots around the cup area. If I use a shorter mug, it splashes more. A taller mug helps. I wipe the area pretty often. The coffee temperature is fine for me. It comes out hot enough to drink, but not so hot that I have to wait forever. If someone likes coffee extremely hot, this may feel a little mild. For my normal morning cup, it is okay. Cleaning is simple, but I do have to keep up with it. I take out the pod holder once in a while and rinse it. If I make hot chocolate or a sweet drink, I run a plain hot water cycle after. Those drinks can leave sticky stuff behind, and I do not want that clogging the needle. I also learned that the removable parts are hand wash only. I do not put the reservoir or drip tray in the dishwasher. I just wash them with warm soapy water and let them dry. Descaling is one area I was a little worried about. I have seen people say some Keurig machines act weird after descaling. Mine has been okay so far, but I am careful with it. I use filtered water most of the time because I do not want mineral buildup happening too fast. If I used hard tap water every day, I would expect to decale more often. The add water light can come on while there is still some water left in the tank. That is a little annoying. It does not use every last bit before asking for more water. Not a deal breaker for me, but it makes the 42-ounce tank feel slightly smaller in real use. Compared to the Keurig K-Mini, I like this one more for daily use because it has a reservoir. With the K-Mini style machines, I have to add water for each cup. That is fine for a dorm or a tiny space, but I prefer having water ready. Compared to bigger Keurig machines, this one is simpler and takes less space, but it also feels lighter and more basic. I think this makes the most sense for someone who wants quick single-cup coffee and does not want a large machine. It is good for a small kitchen, office desk area, dorm room, or anyone who drinks 1 or 2 cups a day. It is also good if I like switching between different pod flavors without making a full pot. I would not pick this if I wanted coffee shop-style coffee. I also would not pick it if I wanted something that feels heavy and built to last for many years. It is a simple pod machine. It is convenient, but it is still a small plastic brewer. My main positives are the size, the removable water tank, the fast brewing, and the strong button. Those are the things I actually notice day to day. My main downsides are the light plastic feel, the small splashes, the refill design on the tank, and the fact that pod coffee can taste weak if I use the larger cup size or a lighter pod. So my relaxed take is this. I like it for what it is. I use it because it is easy. I do not expect it to be fancy. I do not expect it to replace a good drip setup or fresh espresso. But for a quick cup in the morning, it does the job without much effort. If I were buying it again, I would still get it for a small space or simple daily coffee. I would also use filtered water, clean it regularly, and not ignore descaling. That is probably the best way to get a better experience from it. If there is anything specific I did not cover, leave a question in the comments and I'll try to answer based on my experience. If this video helped, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Thank you for watching.